The amount of Latinos and Mexicans that are begging black people to help them is just so insane. Now, we all know that when it came to voting for the Trump train, Latinos pulled up in numbers unimaginable. But now they're begging black people, saying that, yo, black people, where are you in these conversations? It's almost like you magically disappeared and we no longer see you. Who's there to now support and rally behind the causes of other marginalized communities when black people are sitting and just watching? Yo, welcome back to another discussion now. You know, you're familiar with the conversation that has been going on ever since and before the Trump train got back in office. Black people told everybody not to do that, but they did it. They went ahead and did it, and now they're facing the consequences. And now the black people are sitting by the side just watching what's going on. Like Thanos when he snapped his fingers, everybody is just like, black people, where are you? We need you. Today's video is all about that, but some Mexicans think that they don't need black people's help. Word. You're gonna see that on today's episode. Make sure you like and also subscribe. Let's begin.
My African American sisters and brothers, are you wondering how you can help the Latino community right now that we're going through hard times? Join us. Join A Day Without Immigrants, Monday, February 3rd. No work, no shopping, no school, and I will go as far as no social media that day. We need to send a clear message. We have been part of your marches. We have been part of your movements. I have marched to the White House with the Black Lives Matter movement. I have seen my Latino brothers and sisters there. The Latino community needs you. We need the African American community to come help us. Join us and be part of the solution.
Black people, what makes you think that Mexicans are gonna come running to y'all for help? What for? Y'all black people can't even help yourselves. That's wild. Mexican people are hardworking people.
I really don't think you can afford to be this racist right now, boo-boo, with the way they are swiftly kicking you out of this country.
What makes you think that a Mexican will say, oh, okay, well, we have the blacks, let's go to them? Come on now. Y'all don't even trust each other. What makes you think that a Mexican will trust you if you don't even trust your brother?
Okay, since you're talking about trust in our communities, I have a question for you. Was it the black community that voted to have ICE come deport your families and terrorize your community? Or was it the Latino community that voted to have ICE come and deport your own family members and terrorize your own community? So just remember that it was the black community that voted to protect your Latino families from ICE raids. Meanwhile, your Latino brothers willingly sold out your own families and your community to ICE. Latinos are hardworking people, also extremely hardworking at sticking together and getting each other deported. So clearly the black community cares more about protecting Latino families than some Latinos care about protecting their own families. Clearly. Something else that I just wanted to throw in here about the black community's role in immigration rights. Immigrants have been able to come and stay in our country because of the Immigration and Nationality Act of 1965, which was part of the Civil Rights Act, which we all know was spearheaded and led by the black community. You're welcome.
On this week's episode of You Have the Audacity To, Latinos asking black people why they aren't present to help fight against the deportations like Latinos were for the BLM movement. What? The audacity to ask such a question is absolutely insane. First of all, black people, other Latinos begged you not to vote for this Cheeto. Begged you to vote for your own causes. And yet and still, you voted for him. Now here we are, facing mass deportations, and you have the nerve to question black people? Not your fellow Latinos who casted the vote, not white people, but black people. Black people who overwhelmingly went to the polls to support the candidate that they wanted, who didn't say she was gonna deport Latinos. Do you see the hypocrisy? Also, not to mention, Latinos weren't overwhelmingly involved in the BLM movement. I'm sorry. Well, not that I've seen. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But as far as I've seen in my area, no.
This comment basically says, we tried to warn you guys and you guys didn't listen. So basically, y'all got this one. And I saw many comments. I actually picked this comment because I saw many comments of people being like, of black people being like, we're tired. Y'all got it. And like he said, or she said, I'm sorry. You know, we tried and you guys didn't listen, or you guys voted for him, or, you know, things like that. Basically, like, we're going to sit this one out and y'all got it. And to that I say, okay, like, I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you. My point of that video was not to ask you to go protest with us or to ask you to boycott with us. That was not my point to the video. When I saw the video, it made me really angry. And I hated that somebody like that had a platform and that he was going viral for that. And I thought, if somebody sees this and this is their first impression of us, what the hell are they even thinking? That's really what I was thinking. That is all. After that, you can still decide to do whatever you want to do. That doesn't make me hate you. That doesn't make me hate your community. I still got lots of love for you guys. There is nothing in this world that's going to change my heart. Nothing. Not these politics, not these times, not the hate that we sometimes see on social media or the lack of empathy that people have. Nothing's changing my heart. I stand where I stand. This comment basically says, we tried to warn you guys and you guys didn't listen. So basically, y'all got this one. And I saw many comments. I actually picked this comment because I saw many comments of people being like, of black people being like, we're tired. Y'all got it. And like he said, or she said, I'm sorry. You know, we tried and you guys didn't listen.
The amount of Latino men who are getting on here and saying that we don't need the black community after majority of the Latino men voted for that man, and you are now saying we don't need black women and black men. Baby, their numbers were higher in voting for our rights than our own community. What do you mean we don't need black women and black men? If half of you voted for the man. See, machismo is the reason why most Latinos voted the way they did. And machismo is the reason why Latin men get on here and are like, we don't need anybody. We just need ourselves. No, baby. We need help. 50% of us voted against our own rights. And what do you mean we don't need the black community? When almost 100% of them voted for their rights, voted for your rights, voted for everybody. And you're on here being ungrateful. It's crazy because more than half of them are still willing to help us. And you're on here saying we don't need them. To the black community, I am sorry. I'm sorry if you've seen those videos. And I'm sorry that you're hearing it. We are thankful for whatever you're willing to do for our community.
So today on here, I saw something that really bothered me. A Latino woman basically was asking why the black community isn't there for the Latino community like they were there for us during BLM. Oh boy, y'all might want to buckle up for this one because this is about to be a CM Punk type rant. And in the theme of this Phil Brooks type rant, let me go and say the words that he once said to the universe. Do we have everybody's attention now? Now then, I say that because I find it funny that it takes us stepping back as a community entirely for people to recognize what's going on. Now, notice I said it was funny. I did not say I was shocked. Because this is what always happens. You see, somehow we are always blamed for things, despite the fact that a lot of times it's not our fault. And this one definitely is not our fault. Did you see those voting numbers? We didn't put that piece of shit in office. You did it. But you say you helped us during BLM and that's why we should help you? I don't remember that. Because you see, what I remember is that it took a black man losing his life at a point where the world had no choice but to watch for you to recognize that we go through shit. But you have the gall to sit there and blame us when the only thing that we did was try to prevent this from happening. Hey, I actually have a crazy idea. How about instead of blaming my community, you do what everybody tells us to do and check your own. Because they were the ones with the superiority complexes that made them think that they were better than people that look just like them. And excuse me, but why do we always have to be the ones that have grace for people? Because from where I'm sitting, a lot of people don't show us that same grace when things happen with us. Because the thing is, we read the 900-page document. We researched. We looked into things. I'm not sure we could say the same about you. Now then, I know it's not everybody. So right now, we need as much solidarity as possible. Period. Now then, if you want to sit there and point fingers, cool, whatever. But us, we got a world to save. So what you do from this point is up to you.
As a Mexican American, one thing I keep getting tired of looking at or seeing is my own people getting upset at other ethnicities, other groups for not supporting us. Y'all focus on the wrong thing right now. When our own people doesn't even support us. They put that man as president, a good majority of them, because of them. Like, how many people did you unfollow? How many people did you cut out your life because of that? So I'm a little confused. Like, all of the groups and ethnicities, they know we got it. They know we do, just like everything else. But to get upset and to be like, oh, well, we helped them, but then you didn't do it with genuine reasons to, if you're gonna bring it up like that. Those who got us, those who don't. But remember, our own people fucked us over.
Y'all went crazy on the last video that I referenced the Black community. And I'm going to respond to some comments because why not? This guy basically says that we have to correct those bad apples in our community. And trust me, personally, I can only speak for myself. I try. I really do. I try to be different. I try to show different. But at the same time, you know, as well as I do, that some people are lost cause. They're indoctrinated. They believe what they believe. You know, the older generation is really hard for them to like just change or see outside their box. But definitely I want to have impact on the people that are around me and anybody that I'm responsible for raising. I make sure that they know better.
Okay, so I'm not trying to be funny or condescending or anything, but I've been seeing hella videos of Black people talking about how, like, oh, this is what we're going to do in the midst of all of this, or this is what we're going to do come January 29th, and it's just a video of them drinking water. And I've been reading the comments, and a lot of this, like, hella comments, hella likes and everything, and the comments are talking about how, like, oh, yeah, we're just going to mind our business, yup, drink our water, and it's like, oh, yeah, we ain't got no allies, whatever. And I'm genuinely confused and curious, like, why do you guys feel like that? I'm being so.
And here we go again. Why? What is this like a social experiment or something at this point? Because why are all of these Latin women coming for the Black community? Like, when the hell did we like be in such solidarity with one another? Like, I just don't know. And I have to keep saying this on an individual level. I'm not going to say that there aren't some that has, you know, march for Black people or whatever, but we are tired. We're burning the cape. Everyone always comes to recruit us. We do not get the same. We don't get the same in return. Y'all voted largely Latinos for Trump. So why are you not going after people that women like this? Let me show you what this woman did and said. This is who you need to be at. This is who y'all need to have smoke and energy for.
Don't give two shits that families are being separated if somebody's getting deported. I actually find it hilarious. It gives me a great deal of comfort. I have no sympathy that your child might grow up without a father because he got sent back to Mexico or whatever. I mean, y'all are welcome to go with him. Don't forget that's an option. That's a choice that you're making, right? I don't have any sympathy for your little videos that you're making on social media with all the tears. I don't give a shit. I'm actually fucking laughing at you that you're sitting there crying for attention. Okay, I find you guys to be subhumans.
That clear lady literally got up there and said she sees y'all as subhuman, yet all I see is videos talking about Black people. Make it make sense. You have displaced anger. Y'all are channeling y'all energy toward the wrong group of people. Like, why are y'all not talking about shit like this? We are not out here making videos like this. It's calling y'all subhuman by the droves. Black people can't even be racist toward y'all in real life. Like, let's not even start there. But why are you guys responding to this type of shit? Why y'all not talking about who's actually deporting y'all asses? And you know, I can't go to no other country and just stay there illegally, get benefits. That it's just, y'all had a really, really good ride in America. It's unfortunate. I'm not saying that this is good and I wish this on anybody, but I cannot go anywhere and stay forever and get benefits from the government. My black ass cannot go to another country, set up shop, and reap the benefits, more benefits than its actual citizens. It just is what it is. Spread love is the Brooklyn way.
The way black people get dragged into absolutely everything needs to be studied. Because what do you mean, but why isn't the black community standing up for us like Latinos did for BLM? This is all I'm going to say. We were at the polls, and something I really don't understand is why we're always a scapegoat. No matter what POC, the first punching bag that you guys have is black people. Mind you, we are the most vocal people, and we literally stand up for us to the point where even it can be a little bit tiring because no one stands up for us. First of all, colorism. The anti-blackness that is so embedded and rooted in that community too. Despite that, I don't hold a grudge because of that, and I always use my platform to stand up for people. So the fact that you're making this baseless claim and then making a video to rage bait is absolutely insane. It's so divisive and it's so untrue, and it's literally, I would go as far as saying that it's a little bit racist. Because for some reason, you're pointing out specifically black people, and it doesn't make any sense. And this happens all the time. This happened for other groups of people when they're, at the main spotlight. Boom, black people, where are you? Like, this is so unfair. Mind you, these are some of the comments. Like, we should have done the same. Okay, all right.
Is it any coincidence now that another certain community, some people are now saying, oh, the blacks aren't doing anything yet again? Why is it that every time something like this comes up, it's explicitly the black community's fault? Back so many Octobers ago, it was that we were brainwashed. We all know what MAGA thinks. We all know what happened around Kamala in the election. And now we're here. The black people are still not doing enough.
Now, let's begin this discussion. You heard those perspectives. You heard what people think about the black community. And imagine the audacity, especially from that Mexican brother saying that we don't need black people's help. Like, come on. Do you really mean that, bro? I've seen that guy's video before, and he says a whole bunch of controversial things, especially against the black community. So I don't really think his opinions are even valid at this point, but the amount of people that are just standing against the black people is just so crazy. Now, this group of people that is blaming black people and begging on them does show anti-blackness from time to time. So how does it look like, and in which situations do they portray this trait? Let's get into that discussion. So blacks and Latinos have always been the largest ethnic minorities in the United States, with Latinos surpassing blacks as the largest racial minority within the last 20 years. But both groups often are often seen as building coalitions to fight discrimination and advocate for the creation of more equitable and inclusive policies. Now, the thing is, as you get deeper in this discussion, you will realize that the more Latinos feel embraced by the American culture, the more they become discriminatory towards black people. And this article that I'm reading for you just goes deep into this. So examining the relationship between Latinos, identity as Americans, their feelings towards blacks, and their support for policies that benefit the black community. The authors of this article propose that when Latinos feel more American, right, when they feel more Americanized, when they have been submerged into the American culture, they're more likely to be prejudiced toward blacks and oppose policies that center and uplift the black community. So you heard that. That suggests that the more Latinos have an opportunity to embrace the American culture, the American dream, American life, the more they feel entitled. Now, using surveys and experiments to evaluate their claims, Perez, Robertson, and Vocuna thoroughly examine how a sense of being American reduces Latino support for Black policies. All right, so this is an analysis taken by authors that have studied these concepts. And I just feel somehow during the campaign, this man that won kind of like understood the mission, and he used this concept to his advantage because he embraced them during that season. He almost made them feel like they belong. He almost made them feel like whenever he comes into office, they're going to be his people or something like that. So during that time, they performed, they showed these traits, just as it is declared in the study. Because it only takes entitlement and a level of audacity for somebody not to listen to an advice that will later serve you. Just think about it. So this increases liberal Latinos' artificist and drives Latinos to express their artificism when their status as Americans is downgraded. The first study collected answers from a wide range of American National Election Survey that asked respondents to identify how important it is to be an American. The authors found that Latinos who identify as more American have strong resentment towards Blacks. So this is a survey, guys, that just gets into the nitty-gritties, the details of how, why, and how this artificism looks, especially when it's being portrayed by Latinos towards the Black community. So there are a whole bunch of reasons as to why this can happen. But of course, you let me know your thoughts after reading you this article and some points that I felt were valid for this conversation. But let's continue to the comments of one of the videos that we just watched. So the first question that I have, of course, is what is ICE number? The other one is facts. The other one is keep that energy in words are powerful. He just didn't think his people would get caught up and would start with them enjoy. All right, so this person says that the Mexican didn't think that his people would get caught up and that they would start with them. The other comment says, oh, he apologized somewhat soon after. And then the person that posted that video said, I didn't even bother to look. So that Mexican brother kind of like apologized after he said what he said in the videos that we saw. But the other comment says, what's crazy is even though people are constantly berating us, we still show up for each and every one of you when it matters. I just don't get the hate. So this is a Black brother, and I don't get the hate too, my brother. Like, I don't really understand why people hate Black people so much. You know, like, Black people always advocate for the causes of everybody. When everybody is facing something, there's always a Black person involved there to help them. You know, it doesn't matter whether it's a religious movement, it doesn't matter whether it's politics, there's always a Black person there. Like, just imagine, why do you think that the Trump train during his inauguration, he called on Snoop Dogg, he called on Nelly, he called on Rick Ross, he called on Black artists, including Soulja Boy. There's always a Black person whenever there's a movement or whenever a movement is about to start. Now, the other comment says, he better recognize and put some respect on our names. Now, the other one says, in the club, we're not all fam. Yeah, now that, I feel that, you know, like in the club, you know, not everybody is your family. So the other one says, and this is exactly why I follow you. Okay, so this one is appreciating, you know what's the worst part of this? We will see them talking like this and we will still help them. Yes, we still help you. You know, like, this is just real. No matter what other people say about Black people always show up for other people and help them. It's funny. It's ironic. And your point at Black people whenever something bad happens. Like, you saw those numbers. Black people didn't even support the Trump train to begin with. Which also reminds me, when Gaza needed the most attention, when Gaza needed to spread the message out there to help them, who was there helping them? And who did we see turn against Black people after Black people helped them spread the message that they needed help? Now, I'm not trying to use that whole situation against our brothers and sisters from the other community, but I'm just using it as an example. Like, this requires some sort of solidarity, empathy, and compassion. Black people have suffered. Black people have experienced the worst traumas in history. We need compassion towards the Black community. That's just my message. Now, with that being said, we all know that it's more than 50% of Latinos that did vote for the Trump train back in office. So why are the Hispanics mad at Black people? I don't really know, but let's continue this conversation down in the comment section. And I will see you in the next video. Before I bid you farewell, don't forget to like, to share, and also to subscribe. Signing off, and take care.